In the year 2017, China is at 11 trillion. We are at 400. So we are about 30%. We are not even, they are 30 times. From 3 times to 30 times. And their per capita income, China per capita income is 193 in 1980, $193. We were at 870. Today, China per capita income, so we were 4 times them in 1980. Today, China per capita income is 8,000, and we have now fallen back. We are about 2,000. So you could see, we have not expanded the economy. The cake has continued to shrink.
You've mentioned
the consequence is that we have huge unemployment. You have not invested in education, so you have the highest number of out-of-school children globally today. You've not invested in anything, so your economy has shrinked. And what people live is for hope. When there's a sense of hopelessness, it's agitation everywhere. Somebody said to me today, oh, Nigerians are being radicalized. I say, yes, they're being radicalized by poverty, hunger, unemployment, everything. Not the type of where you say it's ISIS. We're being radicalized by
You pointed out this very dire situation in our economic life from over 37 years and now where we are.
About 35 years.
It's about 35 years, 1980 to now it's about 36 years or so. So as it stands now, you have said it's a majorly is a leadership problem.
It's a leadership problem.
If you look at it, it does look like the issue of restructuring is coming. How urgent is it for the government of the day to tackle the issue of restructuring? And where should they be starting from?
So the reason why people are clamoring for restructuring is that if you have a system that does not work, like a company like China, it doesn't work. The structure does not work. You sit down, dialogue, and look at the structure. And look at it and say, how do we go around with this? Let us sit down and talk about it.
So we really need to sit down and talk?
Yeah, it's something that is inevitable.
What about 2014 confab?
No. That's what I'm saying. They've discussed it before. Maybe we're talking about the implementation now. Since it has been discussed, let us look whether is 36 states viable, is 50 viable, what is viable? Where are we going to look? Well, let's look. For me, it is all about looking at the future of the country, the viability of our operations and everything. If I look at restructuring, the first thing that comes to my mind is, yes, we must restructure because we want to look at the cost of governance because the cost is unacceptable. So, America, with 18 trillion economy, has 50 states. Of these 50 states, one state, California, has a 39 million population. The size of California is about 50% the size of Nigeria. In terms of size, they have their GDP is 2.6 trillion, which is 6 times our GDP. California alone. New York has about, say, 1/6 of our land size. The GDP of New York is 1.5 trillion, which is like about 4 times our GDP. And then you have all this, and I can tell you the cost of running the office of governor of California is less than the cost of running the office of governor.
So the states are not viable.
No, you can see. We don't need to be told this thing. China with the 11 trillion economy have 33 states, and then you have all this. I'm not saying shrink all this, but if we look at it, let's look at the size of the economy. Look at everything, and then states can be created. After Indonesia, in the past few years, they've created some states. Let's do things in an organized manner. What it is that...
Would you subscribe to a regional government? Like some people have suggested that we need to go back to regional government before the 1966 coup. We were before
we might not go back there. I don't entirely agree we'll go back there. We don't have citizenship. Before it was 4 or 3. No, we're not going to go back there. We might look at it and say, this 6, or this might be more viable, or this can help us to reduce. For me, it will help to reduce cost.
If we break down the present structure.
Completely. You will have to look at you. Let me go further to tell you. A state that operates a unicameral, which we do in the state, like in America, is the state of Nebraska. The state of Nebraska have 49 legislators being paid $12,000 a year because it's part-time job, which is what state legislature should be. Not the one we're operating here where it's full-time job because of, no, it should be a part-time job. What it takes to take a legislator in any of our states is far more expensive than what you do in state of Nebraska.
Let me quickly
the budget of state of Nebraska is $9 billion, which is about $3 trillion, which is bigger than the entire budget of the entire Southeast and Northeast put together. But the Northeast and Southeast, the entire legislators are 288. So you need to look at your system.
A lot of people have said that the manner in which the federal government is tackling this issue, there are different opinions on the manner in which it's been handled. We've seen the acting president meet with leaders from the southern and the northern region. Do you think that's the best way to handle all of this?
Well, let me thank Osibanjo for what he's doing, and this is consulting. It is important in democracy. The critical component is to consult people, dialogue, and as a leader, leadership and learning is inseparable. Anybody that knows everything shouldn't lead. You must consult people, you must talk to people. But what happens at times, and that is where I suggest to the government, and I'm appealing to them, let's talk to those who are involved. Often at time, what we do here is that we talk to supposedly the elites or political leaders of these areas which have lost the trust of the people. Let me tell you, in this country today, I'm part of the leadership, I'm part of the political leadership, I'm part of the elites. The masses don't trust us any longer. They don't believe in us any longer.
I'd like to pause you from there. A very good point for us to take a breather. We'll go on a break, but when we come back, Mr. Peter Obi has been talking to us, but when we come back, we still talk more on the issue of the structure. Where do we start from? Plus, I will ask him also about the Anambra politics. That's next. Join us again.